freezing cold day.
Is that your opening statement?
That's my opening statement right there. Another freezing cold day.
Questions for Jordan, please?
I think we're good.
Kondo said he's never seen you sweat playing for him. Is that true or not? He said he hasn't been able to tire you out yet, basically is what he's saying.
I don't know what he's talking about. I do pride myself on being in really good shape and, being a really good athlete. And I think that definitely helps me on the court when he may have me out there for very long periods of time. And also, in the conditioning that we had to do in the summer, Coach Nick had us working really hard, and I think that helped not just myself, but everybody on the team get in really good shape. And if he's saying that, then clearly what he's doing is work. What he was doing is working. So, I just feel like I'm in the best shape of my basketball career.
Is there anything you do in particular during the summer to kind of like prepare things outside of practice that you do to prepare and condition yourself?
Honestly, no. I've always been in pretty good shape, but we did go through some pretty strenuous conditioning workouts this summer, so I think that was enough to get everybody in pretty good shape because it was pretty hard this summer. So.
Jordan, you guys are taking more threes than any team that he's ever coached. How much of your offense is geared, do you feel like, this year towards trying to get those looks?
I think it's a big part. There's times where we'll have 5 players on the court that can knock down a three at a pretty high clip. If you have guys, Thor Terrence running the one, Cash, myself, KP, Jonte, you have 5 players on the court that can really shoot the three. So, it just makes it easier for us to spread the floor because you have to guard everybody outside the three-point line. So, it helps us get good looks, and when they do help, you'll have somebody always in the right spot to potentially shoot a three, and I think that helps our offense a little bit. Adam is a 100% three-point shooter, so, we should get him more looks.
Jordan, there were a couple possessions in Arkansas where you were helping being one of the primary ball handlers. Is that something that specific to that game, or is that something the coaches want you to do a little bit more?
I feel like that might have just been situational. I'm not normally a primary ball handler, so that's probably just situational at the time. So I probably definitely could, do more of that, but coach is all about everybody playing their roles, sticking to their strengths. So, I try to fit in where I can. So.
Jordan, you've only missed one free throw in conference games, but I think you've only gotten the line like 12 times. What can you do to get there more often?
Best way is to attack more. Attack and, try to, seek out contact and try to get to the free throw line. I am a pretty good free throw shooter. And, I guess, the team could, would be very beneficial, for a really good free throw shooter to get more attempts at the line. So, I probably need to do some more attacking and, because that'll help my team out a lot.
Jordan, do you feel like that could be a good team approach as well? Because I think you're the second best free throw shooting team in league play. Is that something that team-wide you guys could look to do more?
We're a team that's geared to, essentially shoot threes. So, with shooting a lot of threes and not a lot of free throw attempts, sometimes will come with that. So, you got to find your balance. And, I think in our best games we have found that balance. And, it's just, attacking and, find open man and, all of it should just come together. We could get we could get a lot of free throw attempts and a lot of good three-point looks, and that's our ideal game.
Did you expect that coming in, the number of threes you guys have shot? Considering you never really played that way and, your group as a whole didn't take it last year. When did you kind of realize this is how we're going to do it?
You never really, realize it. It's just, I think Coach, wherever he's been, tries to, turn his offense to what he thinks his pieces are, So when he realizes that he has a ton of really good three-point shooters on his team, naturally you're going to shoot more threes. So, I don't think it's necessarily just a thing that we just knew off rip. It was just coaches, gearing, our play calling and, our ball movement towards finding the open man. So
How much have Coach Mann and Coach Hollander maybe played a part in that as well, the offense and moving the ball?
they're both great offensive minds. And they've definitely, helped us, understand the game better. Go through stuff in practice where, we may mess up in the game, but things that may really help us, in game situations. So they've both been really good with, having drills for us to, work on some of the stuff that we may see in the games, and just having them both around has been, a real benefit.
On the talk about offense, Coach said what he focused on the last couple days was defensive issues you guys had in your last couple losses. What was kind of the focus of that from him, and any specific areas you guys have to improve?
His big thing is just, which has kind of been the same story all year. Finishing games, we have to win games. We can't just sit around and wait. We have to go take the game, and we haven't done a very good job of that. And so he's, really stressed on us, certain plays that may happen down the stretch that can't happen, that may not have happened earlier in the game, but maybe because it's crunch time, they may not happen. So he's been on us about that, and that's the biggest thing right now.
Jordan, what's the best way for a team to learn how to finish games down the stretch?
I mean, I feel like I've had to hear that the past like 5-6 times I've been here. But all I can say is the same thing. Like it's a learning process. I mean, it's a team thing. We have to do it like ourselves. We can't just. There's not any specific thing we can do. We just have to go out there and take the game. We can't just be out there and just hope we win. We have to go win the game, not just sit around and wait.
Do you feel like once you get one, maybe in conference or in the next few games, that and the questions I guess stop coming? Do you feel like you'll have learned?
I feel like we did a pretty good job of closing out Georgia here. We started off really slow and we managed to build a lead. We kind of kept that lead. That was a big starting point right there. But we just have to be extremely consistent with it. We put ourselves in positions to win really big games against really good teams, and then we just kind of give it away sometimes at the end. So I definitely feel like the Georgia game was a big starting point for that, but we still have to keep coming ways because losing to Arkansas like that and losing to Florida, it's it hurts. So we don't like that feeling, and we definitely want to get better with it as a team.
Do you take any positives away from the fact that you came back from 18 down against Arkansas?
Definitely. We're a team that's we're never going to give up. That was even the case last year. We're never going to give up regardless of who we're playing. We're going to keep fighting because we do believe we have an opportunity to come back in from any deficit really. So this is a very resilient team, and that's definitely something that we take away. And, our young guys can really take away from that as well.
What's been the message the last couple of times? You've had 5 losses, but you've not had 2 in a row. What's been Coach's message coming out of a loss into that next game to get the W?
He hasn't really had to say much in that regard. We just, I just think we're a good responding team. I just think that's what that is. We never want to lose 2 in a row, so I guess when we tend to come out after a loss, I guess we're more energized or whatever. But I guess we're pretty good at responding.
Jordan Kunze was saying that he kind of has this philosophy that everything needs to be done right, even starting with like cleanliness or like to have a winning sort of mentality. Is there a little thing he's harped on with you or with you guys that has kind of shocked you because you never had a coach fixate on anything so small?
I guess it's not. He wouldn't be the first coach, but details is always a pretty. Oh, what's up, P? What's up, boy? Nice of you to show up. No, details has been a thing that pretty much. This guy, all of my coaches in the past have really stressed, and that's something I never really thought would have been that big a deal coming into college in general. So just the small details that can really appear in a game and potentially lose you a game, is something that's really shocked me and that are such a big deal.
Last question is for George.
Jordan, you had 1 year with Rick Barnes. What was that experience like, and what do you expect from his kind of teams?
Well, I mean, he's a coach that I expect them to throw it in the post a lot because that's something he was really big on. His bigs running the floor a lot, and guards taking shots when they're open. So I mean, just he's a really good coach, and he's definitely going to have his guys ready to play, and he's never been one to not help his players work on their skills, work on their shooting and stuff like that. So I expect us to go against a really skilled team tomorrow.
Jordan, as a senior, a couple months left in the season, is that something you think about, that your college career is coming to an end? Is there a sense of urgency for you?
There's definitely a sense of urgency because it is my last year, but I try not to really worry about that on my part and put any unneeded pressure on myself. I just want to play, hoop, have fun with these guys, for my last ride. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jordan.
Bye, JB. See you in a minute.
Have fun, little bro.
Question, Kevin, please.
Kevin, this Tennessee team, they don't have a lot of height, but they've got big guys. How difficult of a matchup is it with Williams and Schofield and those guys?
Yeah, they're probably one of the better 1-2 punches in our league. Definitely great players. With them not being, I think how physical they are and how skilled they are on the block, kind of makes up for their height. So that's a matchup we got to be prepared for, and I think we are prepared for. But yeah, definitely give credit to those guys. They're a good team, and Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield are definitely good players.
Kevin, how much of your guys' offense this year is geared towards trying to get 3-point looks, and how kind of different is it from what you've been used to?
I think with how well we've been shooting the ball, I mean, I think that's kind of been one of our primary options, getting open looks from the three. With Cash and Barnett shooting the ball the way they've been shooting it. But us as big guys also got to be ready to make moves and score as well. But Cash and Barnett are playing out of their minds right now as far as shooting the ball and creating opportunities for themselves. But I mean, I guess it's different from how we were initially doing it in the beginning of the season, where we were playing more of an inside out. But now with how Barnett and Cash have been shooting the ball, at such a high level, I guess things have changed, and they've been doing a great job doing that.
How much of that change is kind of just like an unspoken thing, where you're shooting well, so keep shooting?
Yeah, it's kind of like if a guy has a high hand, you keep feeding them. So I mean, that's what we've been doing is, creating opportunities for them too. So I mean, as long as they keep shooting the ball, the way they're shooting it, then I guess that's what we'll keep doing.
How much does it open things up for you?
I think it does a tremendous amount. They definitely focus on Cash and Barnett, so I think that opens up all the opportunities for, me, Jonte, JT, to get one-on-ones in the post and stuff like that. Because if you help off, in the post, then we'll most likely get an open shot on the perimeter. So I think it opens up opportunities for everybody that's on the floor.
Anything else for Kevin?
Kevin, you've been here as a junior now. What's the difference of this makeup of this team this year where you bounce back, you've been able to bounce back from that loss?
I think we just have a pretty seasoned group of guys as far as the age, and really just the leadership that we have. Of course, with just having Coach Martin alone being the great leader that he is, and like I said, I think in my last interview with you guys, there's really not much time in the SEC to sulk and feel sorry for yourself. It's a quick turnaround. So I mean, we just gotta put our hard hats on and put the last game behind us and get ready to play Tennessee.
How'd first day of classes go?
Long. It was long. I didn't really expect all my classes to be the full length since it's syllabus week, but yeah, they made sure that we were well aware of the courses, so that's good, I guess.
You guys are, not that you've noticed, but you're leading the country in change from past year this year in terms of average attendance. Just what is it like to, I guess, play in this arena now where it's all more full and having that sort of big environment every time you come out?
I mean, it's fun for sure. I mean, every game is fun, but just going out there and seeing how many people are behind us and how many people support us. Uh, it's a great thing. Of course, there's a lot of new faces, but we're glad we're welcoming all types of Missouri fans this year. So.
Kevin, offensively, just spreading the floor, how much of that was spearheaded by Coach Manning, Coach Hollander, maybe in the summer when they first got here?
Like I said, I think it was more of a hot hand thing. Of course, our whole staff has done a tremendous job. Preparing us and working with us in the gym on our shot mechanics and all types of moves and stuff like that. So I think we're all really prepared for whatever comes at us, and that's all I can really say about that.
Kevin, it's kind of become a recurring theme that I guess you guys struggle with pressure, like against Illinois, State, Boston, those teams. Do you guys expect teams moving forward to kind of press you guys more? And what's the key, I guess, to breaking the press? I guess figure some things out with Arkansas.
Yeah, the press is kind of a difficult thing to go against, I guess, for any team. But I think the main thing is just not worrying about the pressure itself, but just like how you attack it, and really just getting good looks out of it. And I think one thing that we didn't really do too well of a job of in the first half of the Arkansas game is we tried to dribble out of it when we just needed to just pass out more. But in the second half we figured it out, which is why we outscored them in the second half. But I think we just need to stay composed.
Any more questions for Kevin? Okay, thanks, Kevin. What's up? Kassius Robertson for questions.
Cassius, going to school in Buffalo, I take it this weather means nothing to you, right?
Nah, cold is still cold, man. I still hate it either way.
When Coach recruited you here, he's never been a guy his teams have never really taken a ton of threes. You guys obviously are this year. Was that something that he hit on with you that, hey, we want to really spread it and shoot more threes this year?
Yeah, he mentioned that was a improvement point that he wanted to take last year's team. He really emphasized that in terms of getting up extra shots. Everybody, not just the guards, but everybody getting up extra shots in the summertime. So it was definitely a big speaking point for him.
How much is the offense is it geared towards just spreading it out and getting those looks?
Not the offense is more about spacing in terms of making sure you're in your right spots and taking even a step off the 3-point line to kind of open up driving lanes. It's not so much just about 3-point shooting, but just kind of opening up the floor for everything, really. Drives, kickouts, dump downs to the post, stuff like that. So it's not just about 3-point shooting, but more about spacing, which obviously our ability to create, hit open threes and hit threes in general, kind of opens up the floor a lot more. But, the offense is definitely geared towards spacing.
It's almost kind of like a Warriors type approach. Is that how the spacing feel that help you guys all kind of be shot creators?
Yeah, you could say that.
Cash Konzo was saying that he's had this philosophy from his college coach of kind of like harping on every detail in your life to make you focus on basketball or better at basketball. Has there been anything that in your time working with him you've been kind of surprised that he's pointing it out as something you need to worry about or like a detail you need to harp on?
No. In terms of you're 100% right on. That's how he is. He'll bring everything from when you get up in the morning to when you go to bed at night to what you dream about at night. That affects what you do on the court. And I'm someone who believes in that too. And the coaching staff too harps on that. A lot of the coaching staff emphasize that they don't really know any players that can play well without a clear mind. So that's something that the coaching staff really emphasizes that, and the players have bought into that too. So try to keep all the types of distractions, whether it be family, and everybody goes through rough times, but Coach Martin is the type of guy to say, when we step on this court, everything has to be checked at the door, and you got to focus on this 100%. So.
Coming in as a grad transfer, is there anything about Coach Martin's style as a coach that surprised you?
Oh man, I've had a lot of different coaches. Coach Martin, I definitely say, is one of my favorite for sure. He is probably the toughest coach I've ever had for sure. Just in terms of kind of the way he played as a player, and in terms of what he demands, what he expects out of us, and he's really somebody who's gonna push you, and it's hard to see sometimes that it's for your benefit, because especially for the young guys, as a freshman coming in and you got a guy yelling at you every single day, it's hard to sometimes understand that, when you get older, you're gonna realize that you're gonna come back and thank him for that. Thankfully I'm older, so I've gone through a couple of those coaches who are screaming and yelling at me, but he gives no exceptions. Like I said, from the freshmen to me to the walk-ons, he's gonna scream at them, yell at them, and demand just as much as he needs from everybody. I think he's made me such a better player from the really short time I've been here. I really wish I had him for 4 years, but I'm trying to learn from him every single day, and he's pushed me, and he's still pushing me. So it's a process, but he's really helped me become a better player for sure, and a better man too.
Kassius, are there any similarities or differences from playing in the Metro League to playing in the SEC now for you, and just how you go about your daily business getting ready for league games?
I mean, athleticism, obviously, size. I've spoke on that quite a bit. The speed of these guys and their ability to jump and is totally different. My mom. It's funny. My mom calls me all the time, and when she sees the game, she's like, "Those some big boys out there." I said, "Yeah, it's SEC, some big boys, man." But so yeah, just definitely the size is probably the biggest difference. And as a kind of a smaller guard myself, obviously I have to work hard to kind of work around that and kind of combat their strength with my quickness and stuff like that. Kind of use it against them if I can. But it's definitely been a process learning, and we're in a stretch where we're probably going to play some of the bigger guys in the league. So that's going to be it's going to be a challenge for us for sure.
Were most of the games in the Metro last year sort of up tempo? I know Iona has always sort of played that style. Is that most of that maybe?
Yeah, definitely. My first few years over there, it was extremely fast because my coach Jim Barron, he really liked to play fast as well. And then when we got the coaching change, Coach Witherspoon, he slowed it down a little bit. But some of the teams we played, they're especially like you said, Iona, they're running gun guys. They're trying to score 100 points plus every single game. So I think the tempo this year with Coach Martin is actually a little faster than I played last year, which I like. I like the tempo of the game and the freedom that kind of Coach Martin has given us to play.
The bigger guys that you face, you probably also go through a transition of having bigger guys on your own team.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like, kind of getting used to that?
Yeah, it's nice. Sometimes being able to count on those guys to battle and bang down there. It's nice being able to throw the ball in the post and just let them work. And definitely some screens. Like they our guys set some amazing screens, which has helped me all season. So yeah, it's really nice having those big physical guys on my team too.
Last couple for Kassius. Norte is kind of a guy that's a unique player in that he's kind of point forward almost type. How much of a shot creator has he become for you guys? You've been able to get looks through him.
Yeah, he's getting more and more confident every game. and we need him to be. He's going to be as he we expected from him the beginning of the season. He's going to be a big part of our success. And he's a matchup nightmare. I really think if he learns to take his time, which I think he showed in that Georgia game, if he's able to take his time in the post and be patient and use those kind of up fakes and pivot moves, he'll be really unstoppable in the post. But coming off screens, his ability to shoot that pick and pop type shot is huge. Not many bigs can do that, and he's getting better with it. His percentages are going up, so it's a joy having him on the team for sure.
Do you feel any sense of urgency knowing these are your final months playing at the college level?
No, just playing ball, man.